welcome back. As we discussed in my previous video, we have chosen Jest as our testing framework. Now let's get started in building a simple Node.js application and configuring it with Jest. So uh, let me create a project. Here, just intro. And let me go into the project folder and just do npm init. This takes care of creating a default project with just intro. That's all. Yes. Now we got a simple node project being created. Let's add just to it. npm I just hyphen setup. This adds Jest as a package to this project and also adds it as part of package.json. This may take a couple of minutes. Done. Now let's go into the code and see what we have here. Now we do have package.json with just being added as dev dependency and nothing else. So let's write a very simple let's say sum.js function, just to make sure that things are working. A comma b, return a plus b, module dot exports equals to sum. Let me write a simple test file, sum dot test.js, constant sum equals to require sum test. I'll explain you what are these expect sum of 2 comma 3 to be equal to be 5. That's all. Let me run the test cases right here. npm run test. Here you go. So we have successfully configured Jest and we were able to run our first test case using Jest. Things work fine till here, but to make use of ES6 standards and to write your test cases and the test code using ES6 standards, this is not good enough. We need a transpiler to transpile our ES6 code into just understandable JavaScript code. That can be done by incorporating various transpilers. Babel is one of them. So let's get started with configuring Babel into our project. Also, by adding simple configurations required for Jest to understand what is the environment where we run this code and things like that. Let's get started. So for doing that, let's use Jest CLI. So for making use of Jest CLI, we need to install Jest as a global package so that we can use Jest as any other command, not only through npm. So I'm installing Jest as a global package. Once that is done, I will make use of just init command to automatically pre-configure few things which are required. So yeah, it asked me some questions, which environment I want to use this for testing. So it is a Node.js. Then do we need a code coverage reports? Yes. The engine what we use internally is V8. Yes. And no, that's all. So we got the just.config.js with the minimal configuration. Similarly, let's add Babel as mentioned earlier. For that, we need to execute this command which installs Babel core, Babel preset, and Babel just packages. Babel is a transpiler which transpiles ES6 code into simple JavaScript code. And let's add a babel.config.js. So in this, we'll add the config required for the Babel. That's all done. We are done with the setup. Now let's go to our old sum.test.js and use certain ES6 standards. Okay, let me write it here. Something like import to make sure that things are working. Describe it, comma expect from just global describe test sum. I'll explain you what are all this describe, expect, and it later. Let's do very simply import sum from expect sum of 2, 3 to be 5 npm run test. It should work as it was working earlier. It failed. Okay. Yeah, everything works fine. So we are good in configured ES6 standards transpilation. So we can use any of this ES6 standard code in our test cases.